Hello and welcome to another episode of Coffee Chat. This one is a quick one only because this came out this morning when I was getting ready to start working on my Starfield quote unquote review or feelings. Came across this on Twitter, and yeah, this is like hugely devastating news to anyone who like these studios or these games or Microsoft in general. But on IGN, Microsoft closes Redfall developer Arcane Austin, High Five Rush developer Tango Gameworks, and more in devastating cuts at Bethesda. So, in case you aren't aware, earlier this year, 4 Xbox exclusive games went to other platforms, including PlayStation and Nintendo, which was Hi-Fi Rush, Sea of Thieves, and I forget the other two. I think it was Grounded and some other game I'm not remembering off the top of my head, but people predicted this was the downfall of Xbox because, oh no, 4 games went to other systems, and so on and so forth. But with news like this, it might be correct, or uh, I'm not sure what happened. I haven't read this article yet, so bear with me. But yeah, High Five Rush was a huge success hit on Xbox. It's a rhythm based game with slightly cartoonish or cell shaded, not exactly cell shaded, but it looks like a comic book more or less. Redfall, however, was a devastating failure at launch. I'm not sure how well it is now with the updates they've had over the last year or so, but obviously they won't be making any more. I've tried it for about an hour myself and I couldn't get into it. Uh, Alright, so let's get into this article. Um, Microsoft has closed a number of Bethesda studios, including Redfall maker Arcane Austin, Hi-Fi Rush, and the Evil Within developer Tango Gameworks, and more in devastating cuts at Bethesda. IGN can confirm. Oh, Tango did Evil Within? Yeah, Evil Within was a is a no, excuse me, is a horror based survival, I think. I didn't get into it myself personally, but it does look good. And if you like, I believe I'm saying this correctly. If I'm not, someone please correct me. It was like old school Resident Evil. You have to keep an eye on your inventory, your ammo, and health kits because they're not all over the place. And then it got a sequel. So, yeah, I mean, if you like old school horror games, definitely check that out. Here we go. Alpha Dog Studios, the maker of mobile game Mighty Doom, will also close. Roundhouse Games will be absorbed by the Elder Scrolls Online developer ZeniMax Online Studios. I thought ZeniMax was part of Bethesda. Oh well. Never heard of this Mighty Doom. Let me see. Oh, okay. So it's just like the cartoon Doom version of it. Microsoft did not say how many staff will lose their jobs, but significant layoffs are inevitable. IGN has asked Bethesda and Microsoft for comment. So this is the big one. How many people are losing their jobs? That's my biggest concern is the amount of people no longer gonna have a steady source of income. Anytime these studios close, that's the first thing I think of. I honestly, if these games are being canceled or stuff, I mean, I'm going to be disappointed, but these people need income. They need a livelihood, and now they don't have it. So, on Redfall, the disastrous, sorry. The disastrous vampire co-op game will now not receive promised updates as Microsoft has ended all development on the game. Yeah, I didn't know they were still doing updates, but I guess that would make sense. Microsoft said Redfall will remain online to play and it will provide a make good offer for those who bought the Hero DLC. Arcane Leon, which is working on Marvel's Blade, survived the cull, as does Bethesda Game Studio and Machine Games. Indiana Jones and the Great... Well, good. That one's too big to... I say too big. Quote-unquote too big to shut down right now. Doom developer ID Software is also unaffected. That's probably good because that's one of the bigger things. And I would imagine Bethesda right now is, again, quote-unquote, too big to cut. There's just so much riding on Bethesda right now as a whole. Marvel's Blade, that's good that survived because that's definitely going to be a big moneymaker for Microsoft, and they know it, along with Indiana Jones. But given all this that just happened, I mean, it is entirely possible after Indiana Jones is finished and released, they could be let go as well. Same thing with Marvel's Blade, the Arcane Leon. I forget which Arcane studio I really like that did Dishonored. Let me check that out real quick. Nope. Arcane Studios. Okay, which one? Oh, so this is a... Huh. I guess it's two different studios. Even though one's in... Okay, whatever. Nope. This reprioritization of titles and resources means a few teams will be reassigned or realigned to others, and that some of our colleagues will be leaving us. In an email sent to staff by Matt Booty, head of Xbox Game Studios, Microsoft blamed the cuts on a reprioritization of titles and resources. The email, verified by IGN, is below. I always hate reading emails. Today I am sharing changes we are making to our Bethesda and ZeniMax teams. These changes are grounded in prioritizing high-impact titles and further investing in Bethesda portfolio of blockbuster games and beloved worlds which you have nurtured over many decades. To double down on the franchises and invest to build new ones requires us to look across the business to identify opportunities that are best positioned for success. This reprioritization of titles and resources means a few teams will be realigned to other... Why don't they just say reassigned? Realigned to others, and that some of our colleagues will be leaving us. I already hate this corporate talk. That's the one thing I don't like about any corporations. Always corpo talk. Like, just say we're shifting shits around. Unfortunately, you're being affected. Here are the changes going into effect. Arcane Austin. The studio will close with some members of the team joining other studios to work on projects across Bethesda. Arcane Austin has a history of making impactful and innovative games, and it is a pedigree that everyone should be proud of. Redfall's previous update will be its last, as we end all development on the game. The game and its servers will remain online for players to enjoy, and we will make good offers to players who purchase the Hero DLC. So that just means in-game credits or Microsoft credits. Alpha Dog Studios. The studio will also close. We appreciate the team's creativity in bringing in Doom to new players. Mighty Doom will be sunset on August 7th, and we will be turning off the availability for players to make any purchases in the game. Wow, that's short. Next one's even shorter. Tango Gameworks. Tango Gameworks will also close. We are thankful for the community for their contributions to Bethesda and players around the world. Hi-Fi Rush will continue to be available to players on the platforms it is today. On the platforms it is today. On the platforms it is today. Okay, probably my mind's trying to wrap around that too much. Roundhouse Games. The team at Roundhouse Games will be joining ZeniMax Online. Roundhouse has played a key role in many of our recent launches, and bringing them into ZOS to work on the Elder Scrolls Online will mean, and bringing them into work on, okay, I'm trying to read this too fast. Bringing them into ZOS to work on the Elder Scrolls Online will mean we can do even more to grow the world that millions of players call home. I used to call it home for about 2 hours, and then I just got too overwhelmed with how bad it was, because I did play it at the start, like when it first came out, because I was super excited. Not sure if I'm ever going to get back into it. With this consolidation of our Bethesda studio teams, so that we can invest more deeply in our portfolio of new games and new IPs, a small number of roles across select Bethesda publishing and corporate teams will also be eliminated. God damn. Microsoft, you're just like shooting yourself in the foot. Those whose roles will be impacted will be notified today, and we ask that you please treat your departing colleagues with respect and compassion. Well, I'm sure they will, unlike you assholes. We will provide our full support to those who are impacted in today's notifications and through their transitions, including severance benefits informed by local laws. Not good enough. These changes are not a reflection of the creativity and skill of these talented individuals at these teams, or the risks they took to try to bring the risks they took to try new things. I acknowledge that these changes are also disruptive to various support teams across ZeniMax and Bethesda that bring our games to market. We are making those tough decisions to create capacity to increase investment in other parts of our portfolio and focus on our priority games. You guys are a multi-trillion-dollar company. I don't think you need to cut so much to increase investment in your portfolio, but I know money's the only thing you guys give a shit about. Bethesda remains one of the key pillars of Xbox with a strong portfolio. Of course, they are a key pillar. They're probably the strongest pillar you have in your portfolio. And it's sad. You need to distribute the wealth. Amazing games and thriving communities. As we look to the future, there is an impressive lineup of games on the horizon. In 2024 alone, we have Starfield, Shattered Space, Fallout 76, Skyline Valley, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and the Elder Scrolls Online Golden Roll. As we align our plans and resources to best set ourselves up for success in this complex, changing industry, our teams across Arcane, Leon, Bethesda Studios, ID, Machine Games, ZeniMax Online, and Bethesda Publishing and corporate teams will be well positioned to build new IPs, explore new games and concepts and expand our existing franchises. So, this is a very uninformed, just average person question. Why don't you just put all those resources you just let go into these other studios and games? Like, they obviously have the talent, they have the skill, and now they don't have a job. So, like I said, I'm not informed enough to just demand that happen, but just as a question. The fact that Bethesda is basically one of the, if not the leading pillar of your portfolio money making machine, wouldn't it just be better to take those who are still familiar with the Bethesda formats and stuff like that and just absorb them into other Bethesda studios? But that's just me. It's just sad because I'm looking at Starfield. As much as I'm working on my views and feelings of that now, but it is just like Fallout 76. I mean, yeah, it's cool they're still working on it, but from what I hear and seen, it's still not like a great game as it is. Indiana Jones, there's not going to be any multiplayer to that. That's going to be a one and done. They might have DLC. I'm not sure because obviously there's not much out on it yet. Elder Scrolls Online, I hear there's a lot of faithful people to it, but for me, it's not one of those like, oh, that's definitely a good moneymaker. But yeah, so Microsoft's announcement of the cuts at Bethesda come over 3 months after the company announced plans to cut almost 2,000 people from its video game workforce, and amid a boom. And amid a boom time for Bethesda's Fallout series, following the breakout hit Prime Video TV show, and amid a boom time for Bethesda's Fallout series, following the breakout hit Prime Video TV show. I should say Prime Video show. Sorry. The closure of Tango Gameworks hits. The closure of Tango Gameworks hits just over a year after the launch of Hi-Fi Rush, which many consider to be one of the best Xbox games in recent years. Hi-Fi Rush launched on PS5 as part of Microsoft's new multi-platform push in March. Microsoft plans a June showcase event to reveal its upcoming slate of games and potential Xbox hardware plans. Ooh, I forgot about that. They're probably going to be turning the comments off on that shit. Yeah, I would imagine a lot of the comments, if not all the comments, will be extremely negative about this news, because I've already seen people on Twitter like saying, fuck it, just put everything on PlayStation and Nintendo. Why bother? Because yeah, this is huge and devastating news. Ooh, wow. I'm just noticing this too. Redfall Anniversary comes and goes as those who bought $100 edition still waiting promised DLC. Oof. Like, I wanted to get the Starfield Collector's Edition or Constellation Edition when it was first announced because of the cool suitcase and the watch. But I cannot imagine. Well, I couldn't afford it, but I also cannot imagine spending $100, like for Suicide Squad as well, $100 to not receive what you were promised. Like, that's just, back into the article. In a series of tweets, Arcane Lion Chief Dinga, but I'm gonna screw this up. Bakabada? Forgive me. Bakaba. I cannot say that 3 times fast. Dinga hit out at the cuts, calling them absolutely terrible. Yes, agreed. To any exclusive, or any executive reading this. Friendly reminder that video games are an entertainment slash cultural industry. And your business as a corporation is to take care of your artists and entertainers and help them create value for you. Dinga continued. Don't throw us into gold fever gambits. Don't use us as straw men for miscalculations and blind spots. Don't make our work environments Darnierist the Darwinist jungle. I can never say that. Darwinist jungles. You say we make you proud when we make a good game. Make us proud when times are tough. We know you can. We've seen it before. For now, great teams are sunsetting before our eyes again, and is a fucking gut stab. Yes! Leon is safe, but please be tactful and discerning about all of this and respect affected folks' voice, folks' voice, and leave room to be heard. It is their story to tell, their feelings to express. Dinga, I love you. Inside baseball. If I read immersive sim curse from the community, especially from a fellow dev, I swear to God, please let's talk about the real challenges instead of rehashing irrational anxieties of the past. Even more inside baseball, with a very, very wide range, as a wise and sorely missed man said, please stop. Layoffs are sweeping the video game industry with a number of high-profile studios cutting staff or shutting down. Extremely. I think this year alone there's already been almost... Oh, wait, I'm going to there. Layoffs are in stark contrast to a year of blockbuster video game hits. One of the biggest ongoing industry trends in 2023 was prevalence of mass layoffs, and they have continued into 2024. While actual figures are difficult to obtain, estimates suggest the number of workers laid off in the games last year approached or exceeded 10,000. In a recent GDC survey of developers suggesting 1/3 of all game developers were impacted by layoffs last year, either directly or by witnessing them happening at their company. And I guess this is the end of the article for now because it says developing. But 10,000 last year. I feel like I've read we've gotten either close or we have surpassed that now. But yeah, this last part with Dinga, I absolutely agree with what he said here. This is... God bless you, Dinga. But yeah, this is huge. This is like absolutely devastating news to Microsoft and their ex-bots, their supporters. But this is just like sad. Almost 2,000 people losing their jobs, if not more, because I don't know how big these studios were at the time, or how big they were until today. But this is just like news you don't want to see first thing in the morning. It's like, oh, I'm gonna work on a video. Oh, this is happening. Okay. So yeah, like I said many times, this is bullshit. This is shouldn't have happened. There should have been either more time to prepare, to finish up projects, or to have these team members take time to be able to look for other jobs. And I know there's some corporate thing about that one, but just suddenly firing all these people, or as they call, realigning them to other projects and studios is just in one day is not a good announcement. I got fired from my previous job because the store was closing. The only notice was we had a meeting at 6, so we were closing early. And that was literally it. Like, it's when you get little to no notice that you're not going to have a job in a couple hours, it's just like, fuck. But with as much as Xbox has been taking huge hits this year with a number of games not succeeding or failing to meet expectations that were quote unquote promised or expected. This is just another nail in the coffin for them. I don't think Microsoft is going to close Xbox anytime soon. I think they're going to try to diversify again with the major concerns about the portfolio, despite the fact they are a $1 trillion company. But yeah, this is terrible news. I hope these people get jobs soon. Um, I'm gonna start repeating myself, so I'm gonna leave it here, guys. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you later. See ya.